Hi, this is Jane Green again. This is my second video. I'm doing a video so that you'll be able to see some of the techniques in my new book, Pictorial Hooked Rugs, that will be out in November. In fact, if you want to order it now, pre-orders are being taken by Amazon.com. The first video that I did was about pixelating. And let me just remind you a little bit about that. I have a piece here to show you. I call this Main Cottage, and you can see over here that this area has been pixelated, and it's pretty effective when you mix colors. I've got a lot of pink and purple and greens in there, and it's a raised surface, so it has a lot of tactile feeling. It's not smooth, it's rough. Now in this video today, what I want to show you is I want to show you shagging. And if we can get a close-up of shagging, you can see that this is a raised surface, and so is this. Now when somebody looks at your work and there is an area that is raised like that, the viewer will immediately look at that place on your rug, and they'll be drawn to it because it's so different, it's so unique. I personally have always had some difficulty with the way that rug hookers have handled the hooking of grass, because we always hook grass horizontally, but grass grows vertically. So as a result of that, I came up with this technique that I call shagging. And shagging can be done in two ways. Shagging can be done absolutely even, just a slightly raised surface, or shagging can be done uneven. I'm going to show you on my piece of linen here how this is done. I have a tree here, but at the base of the tree, I need, at the base of a tree, for instance, to anchor or to ground that tree with something dark. So what better time to express the fact that there is, let's say, some grass growing, let's say, at the bottom of the tree, and that it is vertical. Now notice that I've got I'm pulling up uneven loops, okay? And I'm going to mix, okay? It's always a good idea to use a variety of materials. And it doesn't matter how much you do this, but you don't want to overdo it. I mean, and you know, of course, that this is for a wall hang. This is not for a floor rug, because you don't want to. You'll trip over all these high spiky pieces of wool. I take the ends and I kind of trim them so they're pointy, just like grass. So here you see that I have an irregular form of shagging, and sometimes I've known some of my students will take and I've done it occasionally, is I'll take a little piece of thread and a needle, and if I want to push it up against the backing of the rug, I'll just put a little tack so it holds it back like that. But it's very effective, and it certainly will tell the viewer that there is something vertical growing at the base of this tree. Now, another good use of shagging is to separate areas. When we have some of these big pictorial rugs that are farm scenes with lots of fields, it's nice to have part of the field, say, in a diagonal way. You can see I've placed raised. And so when I do it this way, I raise my loops up at least 1.5 inches, and I fill every hole. And you can see that this is takes a little bit of time. This is described in great detail in my new book, Pictorial Hooked Rugs. But I think it helps whenever you can see something done. This is just regular high hooking. It can be done with any cut. Of course, the wider your cut, the more dramatic the result. And I like to do at least 2 rows side by side, right next to each other, to get this effect. And then when I get my 2 rows, and sometimes it's a little hard to see. You have to really get in there. So you're really, looking for that hole that's right next to the previous one. And when I get my 2 rows hooked, then I take my scissors and I just come across and I trim everything. But I trim it evenly. This is even shagging. I want a raised surface, and I can control how high it is. Maybe I don't want it this high. Well, that's okay. You can trim it down so it's a little bit lower. And I want it groomed. I'm looking for a groomed appearance. And so there we go. That's very even shagging. And when a viewer looks at that, they're going to be excited. They're going to see something different. And what better way can you have to separate different areas of your rug? Now remember, don't always rely on straight horizontal hooking. Try diagonals. There's no reason why you can't hook this way. There's no reason why you can't hook this way. Instead of always going this way. Try this. Try this. Anything that adds interest and creativity to your piece. And definitely get my new book, because you'll see pages and pages of interesting and new techniques for your pictorial rugs. Thanks so much.